Hi everyone and welcome to the UK Imagine Cup kickoff event. I'm Lily and I'm joined by Krista today and we're the UK Imagine Cup leads. So I'm a cloud solution architect at Microsoft and I'm studying a software engineering degree alongside my role.
Yeah, hi everyone, I'm Krista Smith and I'm an Azure Cloud and AI consultant here at Microsoft. I've been here about 14 months and I'm also the co-lead for Imagine Cup.
And if anyone has any questions at all after the event or during the competition, you can reach us at LinkedIn or on our Twitter. So the UK Imagine Cup, well, the Global Imagine Cup is a global tech competition for degree students, and these can be university students or apprentices. So team members will work in teams to build solutions to real life problems. And by doing that, you'll experience some amazing money can't buy opportunities. And if that wasn't enough, you've got some amazing prizes throughout the competition, as well as the grand prize, which is $75,000 and mentoring from our global CEO, Satya Nadella. So that's the global winner of the competition. And this is going to be running from December to March, and it starts right now after this kickoff event. So tonight's session is all about a bit of background information on the Imagine Cup, what to expect next, and a bit of inspiration on what you could use for your solutions.
So the agenda today is a short introduction to the Imagine Cup in general, and then we will hear from some amazing speakers. So we've got Ferdinand, who will speak about his journey in the Imagine Cup in previous years. Then we have a bit more information about the competition itself, going into an ideation workshop held by Tom, and finishing off with a tech immersion event.
So first up, we've got Ferdinand, who is a previous Imagine Cup competitor.
Introducing Finder, a quick and easy solution to find any object in your room. We're not using any tracking device, we just use a stereo camera.
What's really exciting about Finder is they've taken a problem and really driven home how much more challenging it is for the visually impaired. They've solved it. They've come up with a solution that takes augmented reality to be able to determine where things are in space, artificial intelligence to be able to detect objects, and of course bringing that together with cognitive services. It really is an amazing set of capabilities coming together for a real world problem.
Have we got Ferdinand on the call?
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Hey,
No
so let me tell you how I found out about Imagine Cups. So we built Finder as the first prototype at Oxford Hack in 2018, where we actually met for the first time. So essentially what happened was I was trying to find a team, and I had this problem that I always lose things like keys, wallets. Everyone probably has that problem. And then I found a couple of other people who also had that problem. That was CK and Sachin. And then we decided to solve the problem by saying, okay, what are we good at? We are good at computer vision and making use of Azure to build something cool. So we decided to use the cognitive services APIs to essentially build a system to use a camera in a room to find all the objects in it, and then use your phone to navigate you towards that. So essentially we were like, okay, so this is going to be useful for us, but who's this even going to be even more useful to? It's going to be blind people. So we built the whole project around blind people at the event at Oxford Hack, and really refined it for like in the first 24 hours with essentially it would only work with ducks and like other things like wallets. But those three things work really well. And we ended up winning the Microsoft Azure prize that day. And then the teams from Microsoft said, you should really check out this thing called Imagine Cup. And we applied to it, and then we got into the EMEA finals, and we were so surprised because we said, like, wow, this is this huge digital event. Like, what are the chances of ever being accepted to it, but the chances are actually quite good. If you have a good project, the chances that you're going to be in the EMEA finals or even in the World Finals are pretty good. And you should definitely not be stopped by thinking, oh, this is a huge online event. I'm sure I'm not going to get accepted in it. You may be positively surprised, as we were. So what is Finder at Imagine Cup? Next slide. So Finder at Imagine Cup was quite a bit different to what we built at first in the hackathon. So during Imagine Cup, you really want to work on your idea, that it's a lot more than just a hackathon project. So we worked over almost probably like 3 months on it quite extensively to develop this camera you see right there, which is essentially a 3D depth sensing camera, which basically took this 2D positioning, okay, this object is in this room, to, okay, it's in this room and we know exactly where it is, so we can guide you there. So we built this whole guidance system. So for Imagine Cup, you see, try to take a project and build a solution which can empower and help your community. So we really wanted to build something which can help people with visual impairment find lost objects. So what we had at the event was the following. Next slide. So there's a video there, I think. Okay, so essentially we had this phone application which would relocalize in 3D space and then guide the user towards the object until they reach it. And then it would pop up and say, oh, you found your object. So that's what we had at the EMEA finals. So let's talk about the EMEA finals for a bit. So we all arrived about the same time together with the Microsoft student ambassadors, as it was a joint event. And then we had 2 days of mentoring, which were really, really incredible because we learned a lot about the business model canvas, which is a really valuable skill you want to have for building a startup. As well as tips and tricks and mentoring how to actually pitch our project. So at the EMEA finals, we actually had the problem that we couldn't demo it during the live demo, as the light was really bad. It was like blue light, and our system wasn't really built to relocalize in that type of environment. So it is fine to have like a backup plan, like pre-recorded video and stuff like that. Even for all pitches, that is, it's always safe to have a backup plan. Also, Imagine Cup really teaches you to be dynamic on your pitches. So if something goes wrong, that you can be quick on your feet and then just adjust to it and really deliver your point, what your project will do and what it can do. So after the EMEA finals, we actually got selected first, which was absolutely incredible. So how it was, they were reading out the winners, and it said third place, and then we're like, okay, that was our shot. And then second place, and it was like, okay, no chance. And then suddenly we actually won the EMEA regionals, and we got to go to the World Championship, which was, well, incredible, but more to that later. So why should you participate in Imagine Cup? Next slide. Essentially, you will learn valuable skills in teamwork and how to actually build a project for long duration, and that will teach you valuable planning and project management skills, which are very important in software development. What we did for the hackathon was more of like most people probably have participated in hackathons before. So it's this crazy 24-hour coding jam, and you just go, and then you eventually solve things through. But Imagine Cup is different. It's really this, like, when a hackathon is like a short sprint, this is more of a 3-month-long marathon. But essentially, so it will be structured quite a bit different how you should organize your project. And this means you should really also, when you apply for it, bring the time with it, because it's going to take quite a bit of time depending on which rounds you get in. So for the first project, you should absolutely apply with a hackathon project, something like that. And then you should keep on working at it throughout the event. So you will learn valuable skills in terms of like how to use Azure cloud services. You get free credits for lots of them actually, which is quite useful to prototype your idea. Additionally, when you be selected for one of the finals, and even in the beginning, there's a bunch of events which are mentoring and pitching and how to actually pitch your project, which is super important. And then for the finals, you get a bunch of speech coaching, which is super useful. So let me now talk to you about how the actual event at Imagine Cup in the finals were. So we all arrived again after the American finals have taken place, but this changes year to year. So we got to meet all the American finalists, the local American student ambassadors, which was really great. We actually went kayaking that day, which was also super fun. So Magic Cup really gives you a chance to meet people and really have fun with them, because there's obviously some downtime, so you can do whatever you please in that time with all the cool new people you met. So then we had a day of practice, which was super intense with like cameras and videos, like taking like small video shots and practices like you saw in the first video. Which was already quite intimidating because you get like put on this huge stage and it's like super scary, but also super exciting. So after all that speech has happened, you had built, you probably have to wake up at 4 a.m. to practice and go to the event. But then you're going to get those really cool backstage passes, or that's what was for us. And you really get to experience like a Microsoft event from like the inside, not just like on the presenting side, which is super cool. So we actually got to see like Microsoft HoloLens demos before they were actually really demoing for the Build conference, which was super cool. But yeah, so then the final moment comes, and it's like such a rush, and it's like a feeling you cannot like replace with anything. It was the greatest thing ever. Like you go out in that room, and like your echo is just like you speak a word, and it's just the echo is going through all, like you can hear it through the room echoing massively, and it's crazy. So yeah, that was an absolute rush, which was crazy. And I can recommend for anyone just the chance of getting there, and with a Magic Cup, you've been given this chance. So you should definitely apply and see, maybe you are going to be on that global stage, and it's truly incredible. Like words cannot explain it. So let's take a look at the behind the scenes video from for the World Championship, how it was. Okay, next.
Easy glucose interview. Take one. Hi. We are in Seattle for the World Championship, and the pressure is real.
I'm super nervous and super excited for tomorrow being presenting my project.
Hopefully everything is going to go well tomorrow. Everything's set up and the live demo is working. Otherwise, I'm pretty hyped. And yeah, he's emotional.
Ladies and gentlemen, here they are, your Imagine Cup World Championship finalists!
And the winner of the 2019 Imagine Cup World Championship is Team Easy Glucose from the United States!
Yeah, you can see out of that video that it's just truly incredible. Everyone is super excited about it. There's just so much positive energy everywhere. And it's just like the whole like vibe of the event is truly incredible. It's just absolutely breathtaking, and I could recommend to anyone to really go for it, apply, think of something great, and just apply for it. Doesn't matter what it is. I'm sure it's going to be great. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Ferdinand. That was inspiring. So up next we have Adam, who is a program manager at Microsoft, and he's going to be talking us through a bit about the Imagine Cup and the details we need.
Thank you. You're so kind. And Ferdinand, absolutely great to hear your story in a bit more detail. You were on the Cloud Skills Show, which is another program that we do on Learn TV on Thursdays a few months ago. But I think we only had time for maybe 5 or 6 minutes, and this time it's great to hear more of that story. I was lucky enough to be there at the live finals in 2019. It feels like a long time ago actually now. Really, really wonderful atmosphere there, and combined with it was part of a bigger Microsoft conference called Build, which is something where we get loads of developers together. It also feels like a bit of a distant memory because it was an in-person event, and wow, that feels like a lifetime ago. So, but hopefully we can do those again soon. So, great to meet you again, and thank you for being part of today's show. So I'm gonna actually talk a bit more about Imagine Cup, and I'll go over some of the points that you've made as well. And hopefully sort of explain from the start and also bring up some links as well. So thanks very much, and we'll see you in a little while. So hi everyone, my name is Adam Jackson. I am a Community Advocate Program Manager at Microsoft based in the UK. My job is to work with developers and IT professionals at all levels. Students are one of the most exciting groups that I get to work with. Love meeting new people, hearing about their experiences and learning from them. It's been really different in 2020 with less travel, but it's been great to meet so many of you online. So today I am really excited to tell you about Imagine Cup. This is our 19th year of running Imagine Cup at Microsoft. The Imagine Cup is at its heart a competition for students at college and university. And through the Imagine Cup, you have the opportunity to innovate, to tackle the biggest global issues, and the platform to bring your idea to life. It's more than just a competition as well. It's a great opportunity to work with friends and to make new ones. And with most activity online this year, you aren't restricted by geography. You can work across borders. You also get the opportunity to work with professionals, build your skills, win some awesome prizes, and above all, in the world. Okay, so here's some of the main rules for Imagine Cup. So the first thing you need to know is this is a competition that's open to students who are aged 16 plus. We don't have an upper age limit on there. If you're based in the UK, you'll find that it's much easier to register if you have a .ac.uk email address. In the US, that might be a .edu email address. And in other countries, it will vary, so check with your local Microsoft team. Now, you're welcome to imagine any solution that you're passionate about, but the one rule is that it must include a Microsoft Azure component and to take into consideration diversity, inclusion, or accessibility. So if you're not familiar with Azure, don't worry. Coming up, we actually have a section on Azure. And then your team has to have a maximum of 4 members. Now, registration is on the website, and that is imaginecup.microsoft.com. But the first round is something fun. So in round 1, we're asking each entrant to complete one of these modules, depending on your interest area. And that's broken up into Earth, Education, Health, or Lifestyle. And these modules, they take different times. You can check each of them on the website. Some of them take an hour, some of them take 2. It does vary, but they're all great fun. And actually, that's to really help you make sure that you are familiar with some of the basics of Azure, which will really help you as you continue in the competition. Okay, so you're registered for Imagine Cup and you've completed your first challenge in round 1, and it's time to start your main project in round 2. So this is the point which you really need to make a decision about what category you're going to enter, because each category will have its own winners and its own pool of entries going through into the World Finals. So you can choose from the same 4 categories: Earth, Solutions for Climate Change, Agriculture and Green Tech, Education, Innovating to change the way that students across the globe learn, Healthcare, It's a very important topic at the moment. Tackling issues in treatment, diagnosis, accessibility and more. And lifestyle, projects that shape the way that we game, play and live. So to complete round 2, there's a few things that you need to complete. First of all, a project proposal, which could be a Word document, a PDF or a PowerPoint, and that explains how your project works. A presentation video, which is a 3-minute pitch and demo video as if you're presenting live to the judges. And also software which can be used by the judges, and a document which explains how to use your software. Now you're probably wondering, well, when do we have to do this by? Well, the deadline is the 29th of January 2021, so if you're watching live, then that's in around 2 months' time. Okay, so now let's talk about the round 3, and that is the World Finals. So well done if you go from round 2 to round 3. That is a great achievement. In round 3, you'll be up against people from around the world, and you will be asked to do a live presentation to a panel of judges, and also show a working proof of concept piece of software for a live demo. And in those World Finals, 3 teams will progress from each of the 4 categories into the round 4, which is the World Championship. And again, at that level, pretty similar to round 3, in fact, a live presentation and demonstration of the software, and there will be a winner in each category as well as an overall winner. And so this is what it looks like. So you register, you do your Learn Challenge, do your semi-finals, and then hopefully you get through to the World Finals and the World Championship. And wouldn't it be wonderful if you were the winner? Now, let's just briefly talk about prizes. So this year, the really exciting thing is there isn't just one prize. There are multiple prizes. And because we have multiple categories, there will be a prize in each category, and that'll be $10,000 grand prize in each category, as well as an overall trophy with a prize of $75,000 and a mentoring session with Microsoft's CEO Satya Nadella. Okay, so finally here is the Imagine Cup website, and so and hopefully you'll found this by now, but it is imaginecup.microsoft.com if not. And you can actually find all of the information on here. What I love about this site is it's not just about how to take part. There's also all of these inspiration videos, which I think are absolutely brilliant, and you can meet last year's world champion, but you can also actually find all of the previous winners and finalists. So if we go on this page here, this actually has a bit of a timeline, so we can sort of click back to 2018. We can sort of click on the UK here, see who came first in the UK. It's in 2019, and it goes all the way back to, wow, 2003. So take a look around this site, and when you're ready, you've got that big button there, register now, and that will guide you through the process to get set up on Imagine Cup for the first time. So I hope that was helpful to everyone. And actually, what I should have done, I've just closed that window, but I should have brought up Ferdinand's old profile on Imagine Cup website. So if you go into the 29 records, you can actually find him on there and hear a bit more about his project, which was called Finder. So I hope that was helpful. We do have live chat switched on Learn TV. Apologies if you're seeing a smaller screen on Learn TV, but you can watch it in full screen on YouTube or Twitter on Microsoft Developer UK. And feel free to ask us questions wherever you are. Use the hashtag ImagineCup or use the live chat, and we actually will be answering some of those questions live as well as they come in, and also after the show as well. So my name is Adam Jackson. We are going to hand back to Lily now, who's going to introduce the next person.
Thanks, Adam. That was so informative. I hope everyone found that super helpful. So the next person we have is Tom Beltran, who is a customer success manager in Microsoft, and he's going to be speaking about ideation. So over to you, Tom.
Thank you, Lily. I'm just quickly going to share my screen. Cool. Great, thank you. Yeah, so as mentioned, I'm a customer success manager at Microsoft, and I focus on modern work. So all things SharePoint, Teams, that kind of thing, to help our customers really use the technology to the best of its use. Today, I'm going to go into a little bit about ideating, thinking about what solution you'd like to go into, why you'd like to go into that, and what areas are available to yourselves. Okay. So first of all, we're going to go through the 4 different areas you can think about when thinking of your idea. So first of all, as Adam mentioned, we have Earth as an area. So issues such as climate change, global warming, overfishing, overhunting, all popular kind of Earth topics that if you can delve into, may be really great areas to think of when coming up with your solution. Next up, education. So if you think about the modern classroom, how much technology is really there? What kind of solutions could you implement to make that even more effective? Who has access to education resources, especially at the moment with everything else, everything being remote? How is that going to look in modern world? So what can you bring to the table to really change it up and to bring a good change to education? Next of all, we have health and the health industry. So again, hot topic at the moment, but there's loads you can do in this area. So simple things such as, remote meeting healthcare professionals. How can you revolutionize that with AI and Azure? How can you change up, common practice and make that more accessible? Just a better experience for all involved. There's loads and loads of different areas you can go into with health. Yeah, so next area is lifestyle. So lifestyle is quite a broad area. So you can go into lots of different areas, solutions of this. Something like personal bots to kind of help work-life balance. Exercise bots, if you're going for an exercise goal, you want to track that. Azure AI is a great way to do so. Really intelligent kind of aid to exercise, never goes amiss. But again, lots of different areas you can go into with the lifestyle. So those are the 4 areas. It's worth saying that something that you're more empathetic with is always going to motivate yourself more when you're thinking of a solution. So really go for that area, that topic that motivates you personally and your team personally, because that always adds to the solution, adds to the build and the final outcome. And on this as well, think bold, think big. Don't be limited to what you've seen in the past. So if you've got a great idea that hasn't been done before, don't be constricted to what other people have created. So really be bold, think big, and go for what you want. Don't be limited by all means. So what I've created here, and it goes off the kind of design thinking framework, is a solid process to think about where you want to start and then where you want to go with your solution. So just outline the 4 different areas. So obviously you need to decide where you want to put your focus and then what you want your solution to be. So first of all, what you want to do is you want to research, do as much research as possible into your chosen area. For example, if I had a passion around global warming, comes under the Earth bracket, I'd do as much research into this area as possible, find out what the problems are, etc. What the hot topics are at the moment in regards to that. Next up, define the problem. So if the problem were to be global warming, you'd want to pinpoint that, and then so your focus would be on that going forward. And and yeah, really kind of filter out all the other things you could do so you can focus on one thing and make that amazing. So once you've empathized with the area, researched the area, defined the problem that you want to fix, you then need to come up with the solution. So obviously this can take many different forms, shapes and sizes, but you need to figure out what your solution is going to be. So that's the third stage of it. If we delve into these a little bit more, under the empathize research stage, you need to think to yourself, do we know exactly what this area is and what the understanding that we need around it to be? What stands out about this area, and why do we empathize with this area? So why does that stand out to us? It'll be particularly important when you're presenting. You need to show that you have a good understanding and that you feel passionate about this area in particular. Next up is you need to know what the issue is exactly. You need to have a clear understanding what the problem is that you want to solve. You can't obviously create a solution if you don't understand what the problem is. So this stage is vital. And then you need to know what you need to do to fix that. So when you're thinking about your solution, I think it's best to weigh everything up. So come up with loads and loads of ideas, and then you need to filter that down into exactly what you want to do. Question yourself over and over again and your team, is this really the best solution? Is this really the best idea before going forward with it? And yeah, research. You can't do enough of that. And yeah, this is a solid, it's fairly simple in terms of ideating, but it's proven within design thinking to be very effective in going forwards. That's pretty much it that I had to speak about. But yeah, empathize, define, and ideate. Simple approach to take when you're thinking of your solution and what that will be. But yeah, the best of luck, everyone, and have fun ideating.
Thanks, Tom. That was so interesting and so inspiring. So the next session is a tech immersion. So now you've got your idea, how do you actually go about making it? So I'm going to hand over to Mark Whitby, who is a senior cloud solution architect here at Microsoft, and he's going to run you through a few ideas and few technical solutions.
Hi, Lily. Thanks. Love the hat. It's great. Hi, my name's Mark Whitby. I'm a senior cloud solution architect at Microsoft. What that means is I help our biggest customers to learn how to use our Azure cloud technology. I've been given 10 minutes, just 10 minutes, to talk to you today about some of the cool technology that's available to you in Azure. And that's nowhere near enough time. There are just so many great features. I couldn't even pick a couple and talk about them in 10 minutes. If you've been shopping for bargains this past weekend for Black Friday, or you've been playing games on your Xbox, you're using services that run on Azure. Azure can be used for everything from the simplest websites and personal blogs through to powering some of the most complex and sophisticated applications on the planet. If you're taking part in the Imagine Cup, you're going to have great ideas, you're going to have the best ideas, and you're going to want to get them and bring them to life as quickly as you possibly can. And the thing I want to demonstrate to you today is something called Azure Logic Apps. And what I think Logic Apps is going to be really good for is it's brilliant for this idea of bringing ideas to life very quickly. It's what's known as a low-code or a no-code solution. So what that means is you can write software applications and you don't need to know anything about programming. You don't need to know any programming languages. You just need to know how to use a mouse and a keyboard. So let's dive into the Azure portal. Okay, so we're in here and let's go to the Imagine Cup Logic Apps Designer that I've set up. And we're going to go create a new blank Logic app. So a Logic app is started off by a trigger event. So that could be something simple like a scheduled event, like it could be running every minute or every 10 minutes, every hour, every day, something like that. It could be triggered by another application. In this case, we're going to trigger it from Twitter. So I've got a Twitter trigger down here, so we'll select that. And then I'll select this option that says when a new tweet is posted. So we're going to find some text we want to search for within Twitter, within the timeline now. So we'll use a hashtag. I had a look earlier today to see what was trending. So looks like today's topic at the top is Giving Tuesday. So we'll pop that in. And we'll step the next step up. So the next step of this logic app is going to be to do something with the information that's been posted to Twitter. So there are hundreds of plugins that do all kinds of things here that we can use to analyze and process this information in some way. First thing I'm going to do here in this case, I'm going to translate this into English. Twitter's a worldwide thing, so the text of the tweet could be in any language. So I'll translate it into English to make sure it's something that I can understand. So let's click on Translate Text. And I'll choose the language I want to translate into English. There we go. And the text I want to translate. So when I click on that, you see down here I get a pop-up, and it's got the information that's been provided by Twitter from that tweet that's just arrived. So I can choose any of this information here. What I want to translate, obviously, is the text of the tweet itself. So the next step, I've now got my translated text, and I want to do some analysis on it. So I'm going to build a Twitter sentiment analysis application, and sentiment analysis is about determining what the sentiment of the tweet was. So is this something that was a kind of a positive tweet or a negative tweet or something in between? So let's choose Text Analytics. And we'll go to Detect Sentiment. And we're going to add the text of the sentiment that we want to detect. So again, we're going to use the options from this pop-up here. So we've now got the Translate Text as an option. So that's from our previous step. So we'll click on that. So we're going to detect sentiment based on our translated text. So as you can see, it's really simple to build and put together, right? So we've so far got a tweet come in, we're translating it into English, we're detecting sentiment. Now, as well as all the kind of pre-built plugins, you can also write your own custom code. So I've written an Azure function. So here's my Azure function. And this Azure function is a piece of simple code I've written that's going to translate the value that's output from that sentiment analysis phase. And the sentiment analysis phase is going to output a value between 0 and 1. I'm just going to translate that into a text value to make it more obvious what it is. So if the score of the sentiment analysis is between 0.3, less than 0.3, then we'll set that to red. If it's between 0.3 and 0.6, we'll set that to yellow. Otherwise, it's going to return green. Okay, so let's add my Azure function in. And that's the one I'm working on, and that's my sentiment analysis function. Once again, we select the value we want to pass in. So it's going to be the score from the sentiment analysis step. So that will then process that, and we'll get an output of red, yellow, or green. So I now want to take some kind of action based off of what has just been found in that text. So typically when we do this demonstration, we might want to be in the scenario where it's a large company and we've got a Twitter account, and we're looking for people who are saying negative things about our organization because maybe something's gone wrong, they've had bad customer service. So we might want to intercept that and try to help the customer out. But I think there's too many negative things in the world at the moment, so let's focus on some positive stuff. So let's hit here a control, and it will be a conditional control. And the idea here is, let's say that the output, so body from the previous step, contains green, which is going to be a positive sentiment message. Then we're going to take an action. So we could take an action either way, depending whether the outcome of that is true or false, but we'll just focus on true for this one. So we could, again, do many things with this output at this point. We could send this to some kind of database to be processed, or to a chatbot, or who knows, it could go anywhere. But we'll keep it simple. We'll just send an email. So we'll go to Outlook, and let's go down to send an email. And I've set up an email account just for today. So imaginecup1220@outlook.com. And we'll say the subject of the email is tweet from, and then we can scroll down here again in this list and find the name of the user who tweeted it. And we'll go tweet text. Again, we'll find the text of the tweet from down here. So where are we? Tweet text. And let's add the location of the user. This location. And we'll put translated text in here as well, just so we've got it in English if it's not originally in English. And that's that. So we'll click save. That should take a few seconds to save. And now this will be ready to run. So we can now run our newly created logic app. So this will take a few seconds whilst it analyzes Twitter, and we should see an update any second now. And here we go. So a new tweet was posted. We click here, we can actually see what tweet it found. So here's a tweet here with the hashtag Giving Tuesday, which we asked it to look for. This one happened to be in English, so it's left it alone. And then down here, we've got detect sentiment, and it's come up with a score of 0.999, which is pretty overwhelmingly very positive. So our sentiment analysis function app has run and returned a value of green, which has then triggered this to run over here. So that's sent an email over here, which you can see has got all that information. So it's got the tweet text, it's got the location, and it's got the translated text as well, which is the same as the original because they're both in English. So that's my Logic app. As you can see there, I just built a really quite smart application that's able to translate text from one language to another and detect the sentiment of the text within that tweet. And that took me a few minutes to put that together. I really encourage you to dive into Azure and have a look at the kind of services that are available. They really are going to help you to build some fantastic solutions as you embark on your journey on the Imagine Cup. I'll hand you back now to Lily. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Mark. Oh my gosh, that was so interesting and so quick as well, so quick and easy to do that. So we're now going to pass over to Holly and Serena, who are going to do our outro and finish up the event and answer any questions that have come through as well.
I'll just do that again. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. We're just going to be closing out the session in a couple of minutes, but we just wanted to introduce ourselves as the other Imagine Cup team members. So I'm Holly, and I'm a project manager at Microsoft, and I'm the Imagine Cup UK marketing manager.
Hi, I'm Serena. I'm a business program manager intern, and I'm the marketing executive for the Imagine Cup UK. So the next steps are to create a team and start your project. We have a UK support program in place to help you along the way, and you will be receiving an email with all the information on our available sessions.
Cool, thanks, Serena. So we're just going to close off the event now, but we just wanted to say a massive thank you to everyone that's presented at the event, and especially to Adam, who has organized everything behind the scenes. If you want to find out any more information, please go to Imagine Cup at the link just in the left corner of the screen. Thanks.
Thank you very much. That's wonderful, and thanks also to everyone that's joined us today. Just don't forget that link, imaginecup.microsoft.com. Also, thank you to the wonderful team, all of you that have put today's content together. Hopefully, we can do another one soon, and we also hope to see all of your entries over the next few months. So, thank you again, and we'll see you very soon.